What's up? It's your boy Big Papita 396 coming to you live from the truck. I wanted to kind of go over something real quick. So during the meeting we had, it was brought up that we had a few more accidents because I believe we were doing like 4 days strong with no accidents. And then we had a few accidents, mainly backing, and I believe something with wires. So this is a friendly reminder that, when it comes to safety, we have to do the best we can. We can only do it like one stop at a time. That's how you got to focus. One stop at a time. Some guys like to point out the age or the experience. That has absolutely nothing to do with accidents. I've seen guys, I've been working in trash since 2005, right? I've seen guys that's had many years picking up trash that have the dumbest accidents. I've seen guys who done years and years of no accidents, all of a sudden have accidents. So you'll hear some drivers say, well, I've had 15 years, no accidents. I've had this many years, no accidents, right? What good is that information if you get into an accident tomorrow or the next stop? What good is that? And I really, really dislike the whole shaming of drivers that have accidents, right? Like, you're real loud when somebody else has an accident, but when you have an accident, you're quiet. You don't want to say nothing. You kind of in the back, recluse. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to kind of chill and hang out in the background when it's you. But when it's somebody else, who is it? What line is it, right? Like, we have to be mindful that all of us, nobody is spared. Whether you've been here 30 years, whether you've been here 4 months, 4 years, 6 years, 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, 40 years, 38 years, does not matter. Accidents don't discriminate. It does not care. When it happens, it happens. And what good is so many years that you didn't have an accident? What good is that? What good is that? Right? Like, at the end of the day, the company is going to be the company, right? And the company, they have numbers that they're trying to hit because they're beholden to the stockholders, right? And the profits. That's with what all of these numbers really truly mean, right? But we have a duty and an obligation as drivers to try to be as safe as we can. Why? Because it benefits us in the long run. Let's just say contract negotiations and things like that. You could come in with a place that, hey, you know what, we as a collective group, we've reduced the number of accidents, or we've reduced this and this and this and that. And you could come in with a position of power or some kind of leverage when collectively, our safety numbers look good. But also take into account that doesn't mean you don't have an individual. You don't have responsibility as an individual to hold up your end. Meaning, you focus on you. You focus on you not having an accident, because while you point at somebody else, you got 3 fingers pointing back at yourself. And when it happens to you, they're not going to care. The company does not care if you brown nose, if you suck up to them. They don't care. It's an operations liability. She was talking about wires. She was talking about bollards, meaning like these poles and stuff like that. They don't care. Once you strike one of those, or once it becomes a operations liability, now they're focusing on you, right? Now you got these problems. I'm just saying, Take your time, man. While you guys are out there, take your time. Stop by stop, assess the situation, do the best that you could do. We know that in this industry, accidents are going to happen. But it is in your best interest to try to, on an individual level, try to figure out what it is that you could do to improve. Right? Like, we have the MIE program, right? There's not just new guys that's upstairs in the MIE program. It's guys who have years and years and years of experience, decades and decades of experience, right? So, I mean, it's just something that you guys got to look at. Focus on yourself on the individual level. What is it that I can do on the individual level to improve my safety? Right? When I get to the stop, let me look overhead. Let me look for any overhead situations. Let me look for the safest way I could do this. If I have to push this out a little bit further, right? And then stab it, whatever I have to do to try to prevent something on a safety level, right? Like, let me see if I do it this way, it's probably better, right? How can I push the container instead of pulling it, right? Like, little things, right? Like, you start making these small little changes, but you just have to handle it one stop at a time. And backing up is hard, man. Trust me. In a commercial truck, in a residential truck, you back up a lot. So we have to take those extra 2, 3, 4 seconds, whatever it takes, to just kind of stop. For the record, it's 3 seconds. But we have to stop. Wait. You know what I mean? And then look at your monitor. You never know what's behind your truck. It's easy to kind of blow past, like, oh man, that's foolish. Why can't somebody back up and hit something? You back up so much you don't even pay attention to how many times you back up. And then when something happens, it's like, damn, now I gotta call the supervisor. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta go through. You know, let's just try to focus on what we can focus on an individual level, because at the end of the day, the company has the numbers that they're trying to hit, right? And I feel like sometimes the drivers, they get too caught up into that and all of these numbers and stuff like that. And you guys don't really realize what's important, right? What's good for the goose ain't always good for the gander. It doesn't always work like that. The company will replace you. Literally, if I pass away in 1 hour, they'll have somebody tomorrow covering my route. And that's how you guys got to think. The company is only here to hit these numbers to reach a profit that will benefit the stockholders that hold stock into the company. All right. Like I said, it's not going to be a long video, but the goal is to educate drivers and get us prepared for October 2025 in the next contract, project next contract. It's your boy Big Papita, and I'm out. Peace.